So, Jaakko, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I don't see you yet.
Yeah, just a minute. Yeah.
Great. Okay, so I let them in and I will start. And I decided not to show that slide, but I will just introduce.
Okay.
So, hello to those who have already arrived. We will wait probably for some few minutes and wait for others to arrive. Okay, I think we have a few minutes are gone, and I understand that this is a Friday afternoon. And I would like to introduce Jaakko Blomberg, who is from Finland. And first of all, I would like to celebrate Finnish Independence Day together with you and really appreciate your sacrifice of being here today with us. And I would like you to introduce to yourself. And actually, I am Janet from Danish Cultural Institute, and we are organizing these livability talks within the project, which is Liveability Interreg, and we work with cities which could be more livable and attractive, and they could adapt more to people's needs. I will also put the link in chat for those who are not familiar with the project. But now, Jaakko, this is your time. Thank you.
Thank you. So my name is Jaakko Blomberg, and I'm from Helsinki, Finland. And yeah, I will shortly talk about like different projects that I've been doing in Finland, and yeah, like in general about like kind of ways to try different things and kind of just experiment and also like doing together with people. So I'll just start my presentation here. So I hope you can see it. Yes, good. So yeah, this is actually one of the events that I've been organizing in Finland, Helsinki Sauna Day. I will talk about a bit more later, but like I thought it's nice to start with this picture. But yeah, I do a lot of different kind of projects, but what kind of combines them all is that I'm working with people, cities, and culture and activism, and they kind of combine this. And I started to do this kind of stuff like in 2012. Actually, it was like totally volunteer first, and but then it like slowly became also my profession, and then I started to also to hire other people, and it's kind of also like a lifestyle. Like sometimes people ask me, is this project your hobby or a job? And sometimes it's a bit hard to say where is the thin red line between these two. But the first project that I did was cleaning day or Siivouuspäivä in Finnish. So it's like a flea market festival or recycling festival. And it started so that I didn't know her back then, but Pauliina Seppälä was complaining in Facebook that she has so much stuff that why is it so hard to get rid of it? And then we thought like, okay, let's make a day when you can easily get rid of it. So it's kind of a recycling flea market day all over Helsinki. And what was funny actually that we didn't have like permission to do it and we didn't have any funding to do it, but we just say that it will happen. And people got really excited about it. And then they started to actually ask in other cities, like why only in Helsinki, why it's not in our city? And then it started to spread all over Finland. And so it has been actually organized. Yeah, also like I think even more than 150 cities or towns or so. Yeah, and then we decided that the first day should be 13th, Sunday, 13th of May, 2012. And then people started to complain that, it's actually Mother's Day. So it's really weird to organize a day that is called Cleaning Day on Mother's Day. And then we also thought, okay, actually, yeah, it is a bad idea. And then we changed the day to Saturday, even though we had already said it. But this is also a good example, like how it's always good to listen to people and kind of not stick too much to what you were planning to do. And then we built also like map for this day, so you can actually really easily just add your stand there. And this is like how also like the sellers find where the people are selling their stuff. And actually, like when we first organized it, the city of Helsinki called us and said that like you can't do it. It will be a total mess. That like when like thousands or tens of thousands of people go to the streets to make a flea market, it will be like a total disaster. And we say that we won't cancel it. And actually, like when I went to the parks, like on the in the evening on the last day, it was actually much cleaner than usually because people also like cleaned everything after them. So it's a good example like how also people when they have freedom, they also take responsibility. And after that, actually, the city called us and said like, yeah, it went well, and now we have to like make it kind of legal because if we would like say you can't organize it anymore, like everyone in the city would hate them. And then we actually agreed that uh, we will give them permission, or the city will give them permission if they add their stand on the map. So we actually made a like permission system for the city for this event. And since then it has been organized. Actually, like just like a few months ago, we said that we won't be organizing it again because we kind of did it for so long, and actually it gave kind of like it started so many like local flea market days and flea market events. So actually it's not so much needed anymore. But back then it was something revolutionary. And why we called it cleaning day and not like a flea market day or something, because we also wanted to make it like more like a festival kind of that people are celebrating it. For example, these people, they are like they're having their beers and ciders, and they have this sign there behind like urban gals, and so kind of that it's like also using your creativity. Or this guy who is also playing guitar at the same time and selling buns and coffee, and or kids like selling their stuff. So it's really for everyone, and that's what is always also important for me, that it's really also not just a certain group of people. And here also like you could see that like for example these people also they had a picnic. So actually the main thing is that they got together and like are having fun at the same time they were selling something, but like that was not the point. And when it's kind of easy and free, you can like kind of easily like it's not a big thing to carry your stuff on the in the park and then celebrate in a way you want. And yeah, it's like funny always to see like what people are getting rid of. So after that, like we actually started an association and thought like let's do this kind of things more. And then actually the city of Helsinki has like Helsinki Day, 12th of June, and like this, the birthday of Helsinki. And we thought like, how could we celebrate it? And of course, eating together is something what people do when it's a birthday. And then we thought, okay, let's make it in a different way and like more this kind of do-it-yourself way. And then we thought let's close one of the main streets of Helsinki and put a table for 1,000 people there. And we proposed it to the city, and of course there was again like a lot of people saying like it's not possible. And actually then I asked like why it's not possible, and then someone said like for example the ambulances have to kind of pass through there on the crossroads that you see actually here behind. And then I said like, okay, let's make a hole in the table for 3 meters so that these cars can pass if there's like emergency. And is it fine then? And then like they were, okay, yeah, actually it's fine. And like step by step, well, like when we actually started to ask this, why is it not possible? Actually, and in the end they were like, no, actually reasonable why we shouldn't do it. So we were able to do it, and we wanted to make it like a celebration and like kind of fancy dinner, and not just like so that people will go to McDonald's and bring something. And it has been really interesting to see like what people come up with. And this is how it looks during the usually like during the daytime, and this is like how it looked on the day when it happened. So actually yeah, it was free for people to join this dinner, but you had to reserve a seat, and it was fully booked in 2.5 minutes. So so it was actually interesting. It was meant to be kind of the main event of the day, and the people the city was supposed to like advertise it, but because it was fully booked before they could even advertise it, so they couldn't anymore advertise it. So it was kind of too popular, so to say. But the day was actually really rainy, and we were a bit worried, like, is anyone coming for the dinner? So this is like around 7 when it's starting, but it was raining until 6, but most of the people still came, as you can see. But then it started to rain again, and I thought, okay, this is it. Everyone will go home. But but what happened actually? People just opened their umbrellas and continued eating. And this is also a good example, like when you are like actually part of this event, like it's not just like you are coming to the ready table, but like you are actually creating it together, and this kind of creates this feeling like, okay, we are not giving up even though it's raining. And it was really funny, like because there are a lot of tourists passing by, and the Finns are eating under umbrellas in the rain. And actually, like there was also one blogger that said that it was a crazy idea to eat there together, but actually this rain made it even crazier. So it was actually even cooler because of it was raining, because it was so crazy. So and as you can see, these people are also still having fun. And this event has been organized since then, like every 12th of June. So it's still running. It was for the first time in 2013. So it has became quite popular, and it's always full. Then I also work a lot with street art. This is Pasila district in Helsinki. It's built in the 70s in two levels. So as you can see here, the higher level is for pedestrians and the lower level for cars. But that means that there are like a lot of these kind of ramps and staircases and a lot of concrete surfaces. So for many years, I was thinking this would be a perfect place for street art, because like these walls are quite ugly, kind of, but at the same time they are perfect canvases for artists, and quite easy to paint. They are not like really high, or like you don't have to block a lot of traffic and so on. And I was trying to get like funding for it, but I didn't get it. So then I just sent a press release that Pasila will turn into a street art district. Uh, and then media started to write about it, like, oh, Pasila will be a new cool street art district. And then people started to ask me, like, how did you get the permissions and how did you get the funding? And I said, like, I didn't have neither of them, but now it's much easier to get them because, like, people already know about this idea. So, and then actually it was Finland's 100th anniversary. So it was 2017. So then I started to contact all the embassies and culture institutes, and to offer them, like, this is a perfect way for you to be part of this project, because like we need artists, and you want to do something for Finland, and this way also you can do something that will stay there. So yeah, then we started to do it, and now there are like more than 120 pieces. This is the wall that we painted there with Hungarian artist Fat Heat. And as you can see, it totally changes the city. And then also what happened, like the artists started to contact us, like, okay, I would like to paint on in this city too, or this district too. So it's kind of living now on its own, although we are not like that actively anymore, like bringing artists there. And then it's also interesting in a way because it's not just like commissioned murals or something, but we give the total freedom for the artist to do something there, and that this way it's also unique. And yeah, we also try to kind of bring different kind of artists and not just like to show that the ones that you see usually everywhere. But here you can also see that this is like this kind of there are stairs behind this, but it like gives a lot of this kind of really cool walls. And actually before it, these were a bit frightening places because like it was dark and like this gray concrete. But then when you paint it with art, it actually changes like also much more safer and comfortable to go around. Because before people were just like hurrying to go home or work or somewhere, but now they're like just like stopping there and hanging around and looking at the art. Here we have a Polish artist Nespoon making this installation. Actually, the city didn't give us permission to paint this wall, so we made the installation. So even though we were not allowed to make kind of art here, so we found a way to do it. And this is Austrian artist China tile. So there's also like other stuff, and we do also like a lot of street arts tours and so on, and it has also become the identity of the place. So also even restaurants are using it, and like I actually just in a bar where someone came to me like, "Hi, are you Jaakko?" And I, yeah, like, I just moved to this area because of the street art. So it has kind of changed it totally. So I also work a lot with food. This approach is restaurant wasted space that I have organized with like a professional chef, Jyrki Tutsunen. And the idea is that we go to different places for one evening and turn them into like a gourmet restaurants, and also bring artists and different kind of art. This is like as you can see, it's a uh, like what is this plant house and like yeah. So we
You mean greenhouse? The
greenhouse
greenhouse?
exactly, yeah. So we brought tables there and turned it into a restaurant for one evening. And it was actually quite late in the autumn already. So, but like because of course it's keeping the heat, so it was actually perfect for that. This is like an empty factory space that we turned into a restaurant, and because it was so huge, we actually like made it quite dark and played with the lights so that kind of it doesn't feel so empty. And this is actually in an art museum because we consider also like there are spaces that are used during the daytime but maybe not in the evening. So we have done it also in a gas station, for example, but also like in an art museum that is closed in the evening. So we went there and made a dinner there. There we had like also contemporary dance, and the food and art, and everything was combined together. And also the food is kind of quite creative. We use a lot of like wild plants and kind of try to find different ways to use also waste food. Actually, here we have bees that have been collected from a bee farm. So it's kind of also playing with the idea of what we are eating. But like as you can see, also it's really nice looking. Yeah, then yeah, I talked about the Helsinki Sauna Day in the beginning. So I also like saunas, and I also like to play with different kind of spaces. So in Finland there are actually more than 3 million saunas, and 5 million people, which means that there are a lot of saunas. But at the same time, especially in the bigger cities, there are a lot of people who don't have access to the saunas, but we have a lot of them that are not used. So I thought, like, let's make a day of open sauna doors, so to say, and people can visit these saunas. And okay, no, so again, like we made a map for that with a few designers or programmers. And here you can like again like really easily add your own sauna there, and then you can either if it's green, it's like you can freely go there. If it's yellow, there is space, but you have to book it. And if it's like this orange, then it's full and you can't access it. So it was really easy for both like people who have saunas and also people who want to visit them. And this is what I'm always like kind of thinking when I'm doing these things, like how can you easily involve people. But it was again like really interesting to see like with what ideas people come up. Like there were like their own saunas. Like this is like a like in a house. But also, for example, all the saunas in Finland, all the hotels in Finland have a sauna, and during the daytime no one is using them. So why not to open them for the people? So this is one of those. But then people also started to come up like with this kind of temporary saunas, like a tent sauna. So this is like an army tent that has been turned into a sauna. Um, and also because this was organized in March, so it was possible to do like this kind of ice hole swimming. And why in March? So it's actually time when it's starting to be more like bright and more sunny, but at the same time it's still way too cold to organize anything outside. But like because of the sauna, you can actually warm up, and it's kind of nice to go around and still go to the heat. So it's kind of when no one is doing anything else. So it has been a perfect time to organize this. But then people started to also bring their own songs from other cities. So there are this kind of that songs that you can take with your car. Um, and actually, the problem was then that where to put these saunas. And the National Museum then contacted me and said that they would like to be part of this event too. That they could, for example, organize a lecture about sauna. And I was like, come on, like who wants to hear a lecture about sauna when you can actually go to these saunas? And but they have actually a huge yard, so like maybe you can open this yard for this portable saunas and because you have like electricity and water and a lot of space, so this would be perfect. And then they did that, and we had like a sauna village on the yard of this national museum. So it's actually also a really nice way to combine this kind of do-it-yourself style and like big institution. And also it was funny for the museum guests, like like here's the Stone Age and Middle Ages, and then this is the sauna section. And like yeah, of course, again a lot of media was there because it's yeah, it looks nice. But like again like I said, it's often hard to know like what kind of ideas people will have. And I thought like sauna is quite simple. You go to into a warm room, but actually like then some gaming students made a sauna simulator. So you put on this 3D classes or this virtual reality classes, and then you kind of pretend that you are in the sauna. So it's like yeah, it's impossible always to know what will come up. Then I live actually in next to this area. It's Konepa. It means like a workshop, and this is a place where they used to build trains. You can actually see it from the form of the windows. So yeah, it's really like 100 meters from my home, and I was thinking it would be like really cool place for culture and so on. And it was empty for I don't know, maybe 20 years or so, or almost empty. It was for warehouse use and so on. And then like finally like someone started to do something there, like opened a cafe and so on. But then came Bauhaus. It's like a hardware store, and they said that they want to buy this and put like a huge hardware store into this area. And then we started a movement like Konepaja movement. So we were not against Bauhaus, but we were just saying that we would like this area to be much more. It's kind of wasting it to if we just turn it into a hardware store. So with a few architects, we made like some plans, like what could it be? Like this is like just like a sketch to show people, because it's also like area where people were not going, so they were not really well aware of what is actually there and what is possible with this area. So we showed like here are like you could have like working space, studios, gyms, event space, flea markets, bakeries, galleries, restaurants, kindergarten, and so on. And I mean, this was not based on any actual plan, but we were just thinking like what could fit into the space. And then we showed this and compared it to this, and if you show people these two ideas, like which one do you prefer, this hardware store or all this like in this area? And then there was like a really strong opposition against this Bauhaus plan, and then actually the politicians also turned against it and canceled this project. But then they also asked, like, this was the first time for the last 10 years that someone actually wanted to buy this building. So it would be really cool if you find some investor. And so I had been just like in a sauna with a American investor and ambassador Bruce Orek, and then I contacted him and like, would you be interested to buy these buildings and start something like this here? And then he actually bought the buildings. So it's funny, kind of. We were in a situation that like it looked like impossible that we could stop this hardware store plan, and but we kind of won it, and we found also an investor, and we were just like that. After that, we were like, you can't like write this kind of stories. It's just too crazy. But this time we made it in a total different way. So before like kind of telling about this plan, we plans to media, we invited all the people, the local people there. So this is the first meeting with the local residents, and there were like about 300 people there, and in online maybe more than 1,000. So it was like really, really popular. And there we were like discussing with people about their fears and thoughts and so on. So because it was really important that it's like not something that is just like coming from above, like this Bauhaus plan. Then like also like a lot of companies started to show interest. We actually like gathered like interested companies, and like we had like more than 100 like just like through one Facebook post or so. And this is Aki Kaurismäki, who started like a bar of several bars actually in this area, a Finnish film director. Then like the National Theatre had their stage there for some time. It's still like a theater stage, but now it's like the National Theatre is not running it anymore. Then like a hotel came to the next building, not this area, not these buildings, but like to this area. And also, of course, they say like we wouldn't have never come here if there's like a hardware store. Then a movie theater just opened like 3 months ago. So like an independent movie theater. So it's now turning like into what we were actually thinking it could be. This is a photo from a Konepa festival that we have organized now twice in the summer. So here you can also see like how nice these buildings actually are, and this area. And there we have had like stages and so on, and we have done it like together with the companies that are in the area. So actually like the kind of whole area changed a lot just because of this kind of that we didn't give up with the city and with this Bauhaus. So then a bit more flea market stuff. I live on the street Aleksis, so it's a street name, and as I said, like we started this cleaning day, but like at the end of the street, there's like a park that is a bit like kind of not so much used. It used to be actually where the trains were going, the train tracks were going to this train factory. So that's why it's like never planned to be a park, but it's kind of like it was left empty and then they turned it into a park, and it's not that much used. And I was thinking like it's nice that we have this cleaning day, but like why couldn't we have like flea market like every weekend? And then I made a Facebook page. Here you can see it also. I made a Facebook page saying that every Sunday people go to this park and turn it into a flea market. It wasn't true, but people started to believe in it. And so now it's actually the biggest flea market in Helsinki. And it's like for the first summer I went there every Sunday and took a photo of the people who are selling there and then post it. But like for I don't know, at least 5 years or so, I don't have to do anything because everyone knows about this, and but I actually no one knows like this kind of story behind it, that it's actually like everyone knows that there's a flea market, but no one knows actually why there's a flea market. But also like then like the food sellers started to come. This is like a coffee seller and like ice cream trucks, and now there are like also like a lot of different kind of food sellers. So it turned into like a really lively market also, not just like a flea market. So another thing that I studied in 2018, it's Kalasatama. It means fish harbor, and it's a new area in Helsinki. It used to be a harbor area, but now it's turned into residential. And there's also a new mall, and they had a problem with the space because they had this empty space. It was a bit hard to rent because it's like this kind of long space, and there are like some like this kind of pillars there because there's actually like a big building above it. So they asked like, do I have any ideas like what to do with the space? And then I proposed it, let's turn it into like a non-commercial community space, which is of course a crazy idea for a mall because they are not non-commercial and they are not communities community places. But then they liked the idea, and in 1 week we built it, and we brought like secondhand furniture, painted the walls, made galleries. So it became like a kind of a meeting point for local people, but also people from even from other cities because it's quite unique. And also like it's really popular to have like art exhibitions there. So we have like a lot of walls that are actually really high, so nice gallery spaces. We have also like book exchange there. So now there's also a library in this area, but it was just opened like a few months ago. So it was kind of also the library for this area. But like what happens like during the day time, people come to work there. So it's like kind of full of working people, and also like people come for meetings, either work meetings or like maybe some projects and so on. Or they just come to hang out there. So also in the afternoon, like a lot of teenagers come. So it's actually interesting that there are like a lot of different kind of age groups also meeting this in this place. And then in the evening, like people organize events. So they can organize events for free if it's but it has to be free for also for the people who come there. So everything is free in this place, and it's funded by the mall mostly. So we kind of made a really good deal. So in the beginning, we also had a space for children in the space, but it became so popular that like like actually it started to be full of small children. So then I proposed to the mall like let's make it like another space for children, and now we have also like the children's room and the living room. So kind of two spaces in the mall. So it was a kind of nice idea to have everyone in one place, but it was actually not so possible. And we have also like different opportunities to work there, like for example, sewing machine and tools. And we have also built their kitchen where you can cook. So we are kind of a platform for people to do their own ideas and our own events. So we are not organizing that much ourselves, but like people can do whatever they want, and this is why it's also like the free city. So it's not like we are actually not telling much of that. It's our organization Helsinki Urban Art that is running it, but like actually it's a space for everyone. And this is one example of the events. Like yoga is really popular, and also like every Saturday evening we have like concerts there, like because the mall is closed, so we can also make some noise. Then another kind of space. I showed the pictures of this train factory, and it's of course like really nice and really unique and beautiful buildings. And when we talk about like using like factory spaces or warehouses, they of course they are usually like this kind of nice buildings, but like most of the warehouses are of course like this, or factories. So this is Kera hall. So it's 80,000 square meters of basically warehouse. It used to be the logistics center, so kind of stuff was brought there and then it was distributed to different shops, and they moved out of this space, so it was left empty. And it's also like a bit outside of the city, so there's actually a train station next to it, but like not much like people living there. But like I thought it's still like really interesting place, and there's a huge potential because like as although it's like really great, it's also again like a great opportunity. So this is the inner yard of the warehouse. So it's about 10 meters high, this wall, so you can also understand the scale of the place. This is from above. So here we started to paint the walls because for artists this is of course like really interesting to have this kind of huge walls and like time to paint it in like and we all to also have this artistic freedom, because nowadays murals are usually commissioned, so it means that you have often like really strict what you can do, but this is actually really kind of unique for artists. Here you can see also some more walls painted on the yard. This was done together with the owner of the buildings and the city of Espoo, so it's the neighboring city of Helsinki. So they both funded this project to kind of make it more livable. Um, and actually, one third of this buildings is already demolished, and the rest will be demolished like next year probably. This is where they used to unload the stuff. So we actually built a stage there. So we combined the two of these spots, and we have also organized like festivals there. This is one of those, and here you can see now the inner yard fully painted, so it looks quite different than the in the first picture. So even though it was like a really kind of ugly place and really in a spot that no one went to, so it became actually a really popular place for events. Here is again from this festival. Then we also painted indoors walls and made it quite also unique in a way. And what happened, like also like a lot of companies started to come there. So there's like skate park, for example, and or scooter park, and there's like a lot of paddle fields. So so it's actually a kind of interesting combination of this art and sports, and also like golf. Practicing. So basically everything was rented in a really short time. But also like breweries, have been like three breweries working in that area, so it's interesting combination in that sense too. This is a picture of the spaces that are already demolished. And before those were demolished, the whole said like you can use the spaces as you wish, and because they don't have any use for those. So this is how it looked, and I thought it would be a like great place to again make art, but also like make events. But like as it's like this, like no one is interested in it. So what we did then, like here we are cleaning the walls. Because why I'm also telling this, because like often people think like it's just enough to give some space, but it's not. Like you have to also prepare it and make it kind of attractive for the people. So we had like dirty on the walls for 60 years. So of course like we needed to wash quite a lot of that. Here we are also like taking out the stuff. So now it looks already much better. Then we also built like curtains on the sides, so it's actually now like more like a more closed event space. And then we invited the artists here. They are painting the walls, and yeah, so it's like a group of different artists. We showed, okay, you can have this wall, do whatever you want there, and so on. And we also built a stage. You can see it here a bit on the lower part of the picture. And then we open it also for the events. So now it's like something that we can offer for the people. It's actually like interesting place. And again, flea markets have been there, but also like for example roller disco, because it's like the floor is really smooth, because it's like for meant for transporting with like this stuff. So it has to be really smooth. But then also like a lot of like techno parties and underground parties started to happen in this space, and it was basically like the hotspot for underground parties for for that short time that we were allowed to use it before it was demolished. So it was really interesting that also this kind of ugly spot could be turned into this. But like yeah, as I showed, this is how it looked in the beginning. So it's a huge difference to um, uh, with what it was. Um, then I this is kind of, I also like do a lot of small things, not just like this kind of huge projects. And this is one of them. I actually live in this apartment that is there's my balcony in the middle of the picture, and I was thinking it would be really cool to organize like a cafe, like a pop-up cafe, like at my home. And but then I was thinking, like, how can I do it? It's the third floor, and there's like no space like to do it. The street is not so busy. So it's what if I cook a lot of food and there will be a lot of leftovers and I just lose money, and like it all seemed a bit difficult. But then I started to think like, how could I make it work? And then I thought, okay, ice cream. So ice cream is actually good because it's you can make it easily at home, and if you don't sell it all, then you can just like sell it on the next day. So I bought an ice cream machine, started to make ice cream, and then I put a sign downstairs saying like ring the bell if you want to buy ice cream. So here you can see actually the string, and then you pull it. Maybe it's yeah, well, yeah, then you pull the string and it rings a bell in the apartment, so you know there's the customer, and then you can ask like ask from above like, okay, what kind of ice cream would you like to have, and then in this basket you can lower it down. So and it became also like really successful, and but it's kind of a project that we have been keeping it open only or every now and then, so it's not like that it's every day, but like it's kind of like when okay, let's put a ice cream cafe open today. But I think it's a good example of like, even though again you don't have the best possible resources, you can still make a big difference like with what actually you have, if you just like think it in a creative way and try something new. And also this is like this kind of crazy stuff. There are like a lot of people who come there also and say like, yeah, I want to come here because it's I want in my city, that in my city there are these kind of things, because it's such a crazy small thing that I want to support it. And this is actually often like actually when we organized this cleaning day for the first time, it was quite cold, and like then I went to talk with people like, oh, it's so cold and you're still here, but like, yeah, I want to support this because I want this kind of things in my city. So I will be here although the weather is quite cold. So so this is also like kind of why people want to be part of this kind of stuff. So, a few words about how to get people involved. Like I started a bit with that, but like what is important that there is need for something new, because if the people don't have this need, they of course they are not participating. But the thing is, what is difficult that it's necessarily not said out loud. So for example, when I started this Helsinki Sauna Day, like a lot of people were saying like, why no one has done this before? Like kind of it was kind of so obvious to have, like, we have this saunas, we like to go to saunas. It's like a social thing anyway. So why no one has done it before? Like so so it's kind of at the same time it's obvious, but like people, because it's something new, people are not able to think about it. And so, and at the same time, like also with this Helsinki Sauna Day, at the same time it has to be familiar enough. So kind of if you're making too weird stuff, it's kind of it's too hard for people to understand. And but for example, when there was like this cleaning day, I mean, like we have had like different kind of flea markets, of course. So kind of it's kind of okay, it's this flea market but in a different way. And then when I started this Alexis Kivenkatu flea market, the weekly flea market. It's again like, okay, yeah, it's kind of this, but like just in a different way. And then like well, the Helsinki sauna day, it's again like, okay, it's kind of again this kind of same, but like with sauna and like of course for Finns like going to a sauna, it's quite a normal thing. So it's kind of it's familiar enough, but like in at the same time there's like something really unique in it. Well, what is also important, the concept is easy and understandable. So if you think about also this concepts that I was talking about, they are actually really, really kind of really simple. Like that, you have this flea market day. On this day, you can have a flea market or recycle your stuff. And what you can do, you can go to a park or street or what and whatever and sell your stuff, or you can go to buy, or you can go to this. We have also organized like recycling spots where you can bring your stuff, so you can go there. And so you know like really like right away like what to do and how you can in what roles you can participate. And also, if you think about Helsinki Sauna Day, it's really easy. Like Helsinki Sauna Day, like you get it like right away what it's all about. Although it's actually funny, like also saunas in other cities and even other countries started to participate. Like kind of we have had saunas from USA and Thailand and the one sauna actually from Germany has been taking part like a home sauna many times. And once the owner wrote to me like, "Oh, now there are Finns who came here." So somehow some Finns heard about it that were living in Germany and traveled to visit that sauna. So it's at the same time it's spreading, but like also like uh, or this Alexis Kivenkatu flea market is also again like really easy to understand. Or Konepaja balcony cafe, like yeah, everything is made really easy. The vision is shared, so that this is also important that you don't get too stuck on the original idea, but create the vision together. So kind of actually like I said about this cleaning day that first it was meant to be on the on Sunday, but then we changed to Saturday because people were complaining about it, and then we kind of changed it. And actually after that, like after the first event, we asked like people, would you like to have another event in the like late summer, and on which day should it be? And so we made actually a poll, and so people could actually like influence in this event. And also like because we were thinking it would be only in Helsinki, but then because people wanted to organize it in other places, we made it possible. And actually it has been organized also in Japan, which is really weird again, but like yeah, they like this idea also so much. And also like we were like discussing about like should we should we have like a starting time also. So but like we didn't want to make any restrictions like this because we wanted to keep it kind of open that people can do it in the way they want. So what is also important that the structure is clear. So people always want some guidelines. So kind of that, like it's the same kind of thing what I said about that being kind of simple and clear roles. So so again, like it's or Helsinki sauna, there's this map. You can just like add your map there and add your sauna there on the map, and that's kind of really easy, but at the same time, you have to be ready to change them if needed. We actually, like on the Helsinki Sauna Day, we were talking with the programmers, like what should be the like first time that is available for sauna slot, and we were thinking like, okay, probably no one will do it before 9 in the morning, and like right away they called from one sauna like we want to do it at 7 in the morning, and then we changed the system because of that. Because why not if they want to have it at 7 in the morning? And it was actually really popular. I also went to this morning sauna. It was kind of nice to start it like that. And also like with yeah, with cleaning day, there were actually some guys who are having a stand and asked like, how long have you been here? Because they looked quite tired, and they said like, yeah, we started 2 a.m. Like so they actually went straight from the bar to have a stand in the park for the whole night and for the next day. Uh, what is also important, there's room for creativity. Like what you have seen here, like is it like like your flea market stand, or maybe if it's your dinner and on this dinner on the Helsinki under the Helsinki sky, or if it's your own sauna, or like people like to do like create something themselves. So kind of it's important that they are not like just fulfilling your mission, but that they have also room to play and like to do it in their way. And like I said, that there are not like unnecessary limits. Like if there's really no reason to limit something, like why not to do it? And I think this is also a problem often, that people are kind of when people organize something, they kind of make it like too strict, like like kind of you have to live with when you work with people, that they are doing something different than what you have thought. Like also like this sauna simulator. Like I have never even imagined that like someone could make something like that, but they did. So it's always good to keep in mind that there's enough freedom, and also like that, like in Japan they created this cleaning day in a totally different way, but like because it's a different place and different ways to act, so we allowed them to do it. So also participating is easy, of course, important. And what also combines this all project that I have showed, that it doesn't necessarily require commitment for a long time. Usually it's like just a 1 day thing, or like maybe most a few weeks. So this is why it's also easy to say, okay, I want to be part of this. And also like what is important, the participants can decide how to take part. Like or like if it's cleaning day, like are they going to sell or buy or maybe sell food or something? And all of this don't need big planning. So kind of actually there are people who have taken part in cleaning day, so that they open the windows and saw like, oh, people are like selling their stuff in this park next to me. I will also join, and then you can just go there. So it's kind of really easy to do. What is of course important also, that participating is rewarding. So there are different kinds of rewards, of course, and this is also good to keep in mind, so that we kind of answer to this and understand that people have different needs. So a lot of people just want to do some good, or maybe they want to get rid of their stuff, or maybe they want to like get together with the friends, like with like this cleaning day stands, or maybe they want to make friends. This is also a good way when you're doing something together. Of course, important to just to have fun, or make something meaningful. This is also like a lot of people who are participating in this stuff, that they kind of want to make something meaningful and be part of something bigger. But of course, there are also like people who want to gain experience or even money, like if you're selling stuff or so on. It's also important to be open. So without knowledge, people don't feel like they are part of something. So this is also like often the problem, that we are not telling enough people, like kind of that the information is kept hidden and more than is needed. So it's important to communicate as much as possible and as soon as possible. And what is of course important, that you don't create wrong expectations, because this is the worst thing, is that people think that they can actually participate in somehow, or their opinion is asked, and then they realize that actually it doesn't matter at all what they are saying. And what is, like I said also about this cleaning day, that if you just see it from your window, you can just go outside and join the people. So it's always possible to join. And of course, it's important to be present. So to be there to help and react. So because like often when people have this feeling, I want to be part of this, and then like if they get the answer in 1 week or 2 weeks, they probably have lost total their interest, or kind of if they feel that their opinions are not heard. And of course, important to make it attractive in real life and online. So all this, for example, when we were organizing this dinner under the Helsinki sky. Actually, the city said that could we go to a park and organize it there? And I said like, you know, there's nothing special in that. Like people are having picnics in a park every day. This is like if we do a picnic for 1,000 people, it's not much different. We have to close the street and we have to put the table for 1,000 people. Then it's attractive. Then it's something that people don't want to miss. And then it will look like the idea is itself it will look like really interesting, and also in real life it's like something really unique yet that you don't want to miss. And what I always keep in mind when I'm doing stuff is like to keep these rewards as big as possible and efforts as small as possible. Like, and a good example is also this a balcony cafe. Like first it looked like that it's like really a lot of effort and like quite risky. Well, will be there enough rewards, but like when you're doing it, selling ice cream from the balcony and eating it at the same time, maybe reading a book, it's actually quite rewarding. Like there are like little risks, but quite actually for sure you will win it in a way or another. So this is really simple thing, and of course something that we always kind of think, but often we don't think about enough. Like how can we make it even better? Like also if you think about this Kera halls, I showed like how we changed the empty warehouse there where we cleaned the walls. After that, it was really attractive for the artists to come there. But if they have to wash the walls, it would be like much less interesting. And then after we had painted the walls and put the curtains and so on, then it was attractive for the event organizers. But if we would have say like here's this empty space or the space with a lot of weird stuff, organize an event, no one would be interested. So kind of we made it like really like rewarding and so that it requires less effort. And often I also hear that people don't want to participate, but I don't think it's so. Like I think the problem is that we are not just always doing the right things. So kind of we are not doing what people want to do, and we are not doing in the ways they want to do it. So I think it's always good to kind of think, are we doing the right thing? Are we doing it in the right way? And often like this kind of layer of participation, it's just put on top of the old structure that it's already there. And this is the problem. So we kind of just add it there and like think what is best for our organization to have this participation, and not think about the people, like how can we make it the best for the people to take part. So we kind of should think the whole structure again and not just like add a layer of participation on it. And what is also important that to just start to experiment and like try things. So done is better than perfect. Like it's I think like a tree house is a good example. I don't think anyone has ever seen a perfect tree house, but like no matter what kind of tree house you have, like kids love it, and it's kind of just like you just build something and then you add something and so on, and like you kind of never know what will come up. But if you just like kind of plan it too much, you will never achieve anything. So just start to do and see what to do then. And also taking risks is important. So if you don't take risk, you don't drink champagne. So I kind of all these examples that I have shown there, all, like a lot of them require also taking risks or doing things in a weird way, and also kind of not knowing exactly what will happen. And this is kind of if we kind of don't take risk, we won't make any big things, but then we will just make some quite ordinary stuff. That's why we should also have courage to do things and try things. Okay, this was my presentation. Thank you for listening it. Like you can find more information on my webpage, which is already quite old. I should update it badly. Also, our association Helsinki Urban Art has like a lot of information. Kera Collective has like information about this Kera halls, and Vapaa Kaupunki is about this free city project in the mall. And there's also Concrete, which is a like street art festival that we have organized a few times, and we will do it on Sunday next year again. And on social media, you can find out under my name and Helsinki Urban's art. So thank you very much for being here.
But please don't go away because we will have a question and answer session. Jaakko, thank you very much for your presentation. And I think it's really inspiring about it. But I have a few questions. Maybe, first of all, do you have some recognition from municipality? Do they know that this Jaakko is doing great things and they could somehow benefit also from that, or they are more afraid of what could you think again?
Well, I think it's a combination, maybe. It's actually funny when I started this flea market in the park, this weekly flea market, and I wrote to the city that I have an idea. Let's try this kind of flea market that is like do it yourself, and if it doesn't work out, then just quit it. And they never replied to me, so I just started it. And next winter I wrote them, okay, you never replied to me, just so I just did it, and it went really well. And maybe we could make it now official. And they actually answered me like this kind of events are not possible in Helsinki. The only exception is cleaning day. You can read more about it on the on this page. And I was like, but I have made this web page that you sent me the link to. So yeah, I think it varies. Like in the beginning, it was like a lot of opposition because it was kind of something different, something a bit frightening. Like okay, like people also like officials were thinking like there it will be a total disaster when we give people this freedom because they are kind of used to this, that everything is under control. So I think it has become much better in a way. It's still sometimes a bit like sometimes I have like talked with some officials and they're like, yeah, just do it. Like it gets complicated if we have to kind of give a like a real permission for that. We actually with this flea market in the park, it's still kind of there's still no official permission to do it. So it's kind of like no one's just seeing it. It's on the web page of the city even, but like kind of there's like it's officially it still doesn't exist.
Some gray area. And
Yeah.
what message or advice would you like to give people who work in the city municipalities?
Well, I think the like what was also the topic that kind of to have this encourage to kind of try things and like because like we are often too worried about the kind of the risks like kind of we think okay this and this and this and this could happen so it's better not to do anything and but when we actually think about like how probable these risks are they are usually not so probable and like and on the other hand like what are the like good outcomes like pains and gains like usually like there are like so much to win and this is also what I think like sometimes when I'm working in a bit gray area like okay if I do this like what could we achieve with this like okay yeah sounds really good then I think about risks oh well maybe I can get a fine like okay it's worth of taking these risks so kind of we often like just get stuck also like with this dinner under the Helsinki sky first they say that like it's not possible but actually because it's easy to say no and not to but it's better to think like how can we make it possible and this is kind of a change of mindset and like a kind of finding creative ways to do things and not just like think about the ordinary ways this is how we have always done it and it should go like this.
And also, I've noticed you have the tendency somehow to feel and see those spaces which are free and some niches, which are hidden from most of us. People maybe haven't unlocked their potential, but maybe how to help them to unlock the potential, how to notice these things, or how to discover. Is it something personal or is it something trained?
Well,
Where does it come from?
yeah, I don't know. It's like always when I go around, I'm kind of thinking like what could be done here and what could be done here. And what is much more interesting for me is kind of this kind of unused potential, like with this like ugly empty warehouse or this concrete area. So I think it's much more interesting for me kind of to have this kind of use of this potential that no one is thinking actually that there is any worth. I actually never do anything in the center of the Helsinki. Well, in addition to this dinner under the Helsinki sky, because it's not so interesting. It's already beautiful and it's kind of ready made, so to say. So actually, this kind of more playground you can actually find in other places. But what actually also a lot of people have told to me that they have taken part in some events and they say now I see the city with total different eyes. So I think this is also we are so used to thinking about like if you see a road, like it's really easy to think that this is just for cars. But then when you started when you do something once, like okay, let's close it and put a dinner there for 1,000 people, then people start to think, okay, yeah, maybe we could do something else there, and then kind of uh, when you kind of get rid of this like ordinary thinking, then it's easier to imagine other things. But I think that the having different kind of examples is really important, and when you don't have those, it's hard to kind of get rid of this change that we have that it's not possible.
And that we have always done one way.
Exactly,
Also,
exactly.
here is a question from Petri from City of Pori. Hello, Jaakko. I have a couple of questions. Where can we find new event organizing during the rebirth or repurposing unused spaces? How can we effectively reach urban residents in smaller cities and populations in around 80,000 people and to help them to rediscover old spaces in a new form? And how can historically rich and used spaces convey their original language while embracing a new purpose in the present day, offering visitors something familiar yet with a fresh twist? And thank you, Jaakko, for the great presentation once again. And yeah, Petri, thank you for your question. So it's in chat, and if someone wants to ask some more questions, also chat is welcome.
Yeah, I will also stop sharing this so that I can
Yeah.
uh, see the chat. But like I think like one answer is also that like I said that like you have to see some examples and also that it's made so easy as possible. Like what I told like if you I think if there are just like spaces and you don't know about them exactly and like so you even don't start to think like what could I do with that, but like if there's a space like do you want to have this for 1 week or for 1 month, just fill this form and you will have it. Then it kind of changes it's kind of like what I was saying about the rewards and efforts, like it kind of the effort is so small that okay I could take a risk, but of course it requires that there's like you see like people doing different stuff. But like I think this is if you're just saying like if you have idea let us know, but like kind of to uh to make it so easy, like I mean like I've been also in Pori, there are like a lot of empty spaces and but like it's if you just look at the space like it's kind of actually not really encouraging to do something when you see them they're everywhere empty. But like kind of if there's like some kind of platform, some kind of project, some kind of that helps you like kind of focus on what you're doing and lowering the risks, I think this could be um, uh, this would interest people. Um, yeah, and I like yeah, historically rich unused space. Like, well, yeah, this is also well, of course, it's hard to say. It's easier when you have like a more clear example. But I mean, like it was. Yeah, I don't know what to say to this in short, but like, yeah, sometimes like it's kind of easier. Like if you're working like for example with this warehouse in Kerala, it's like there's like kind of nothing to lose, so you can easily like just change everything, put crazy disco there and so on. But like of course if it's like more like historically rich, it's a bit different. But also like if you just think about this train factory, it's again like kind of embracing it like this architecture but like in a new way. But like yeah, it's easier when it's kind of more concrete example, maybe, but maybe I answered in some way.
Thank you. Thank you, Jaakko, for the answer and Petri for the question. Is there anyone else with a question? Oh, Petri left a heart. Thank you, Petri.
I have
Yeah.
quite a practical question. How it is with homeless people, or I don't know, if we make, for example, a space, community space in the neighborhood, but maybe homeless people or people who use drugs would like to also spend their time there. How to deal with that?
Yeah,
Or you don't have that in Helsinki?
no, actually we do, and also in this living room we have had both. Actually, we had a problem with we used to have a toilet there, kind of a bit like hidden, and it was a bit too hidden, so people started to take drugs there. So we closed the toilet. So kind of because it was like kind of where no one was passing by, so it was kind of too much too safe, so to say, for that. Also, we have had homeless people there, and we still have, but actually they are quite respectful there, because they kind of know, like, if they behave well, like, it's fine. But like if they behave badly, we will throw them away. So actually, we almost never have problems with that, because like they also respect it, that they have this possibility. And like we also tell them, like if you are nicely here, you can be here. But like, and actually sometimes they even start to like, there was like one guy who was kind of had like some kind of role among them, so he started to like complain them if they were not behaving. So so kind of
Mhm.
so kind of so they also take care of their, like, they understand what is the best for everyone. So and actually, yeah, it's really rare that we have any problems with them, although they are like everyday, like, homeless people also in the space. And and it's also like, yeah, this is also a thing that we kind of maybe worry a bit too much, maybe, like, because they are, in the end, they are also people, like, and they are like a lot of different stories. Of course, there are like some who are like have like some bad drug problems, but they don't, they don't come there because they know that they couldn't be there, kind of. These people, they also like kind of understand what is okay and what is not, in a way.
Thanks.
Actually, I remember once I was in the Audi library, and there was also one person who was definitely a homeless, but he was so happy, and I think he fitted there so well, and everyone respected him. I think it felt very somehow warm, and I felt that it's really a nice attitude also from the organization, and I think it's management decision as well, who and how they actually communicate and what's their attitude towards their visitors. Because honestly speaking, in Riga, we cannot even sometimes enter the library with some own thing in your hands, even not talking about something else. So I think it's really nice. Thank you.
Yeah,
Uh,
and
yeah.
I mean, if you kind of treat them as people, like, and not like some scum, then there won't be like this kind of opposition, but you're actually kind of on the same side and together.
Yeah, no, I understand, and I really love this tolerant attitude, and we should treat them like people. But at the same time, like every morning I take public transport, and there are like things like bad smell, and people wouldn't like to spend their time in such a place. So I understand that we need to have a human approach, and that's the way to be. But at the same time, there are some physical obstacles.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I have to say, like, we usually don't have this kind of homeless people there, like, kind of.
Okay.
So it because, but there's also like homeless people are also like, it's
Hierarchy.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
a huge group of people, and there are like some people who just like actually had like a good job and everything, and then just something went wrong, and like maybe they don't have like any other problems, and there are like even some underage people who are homeless and like who are spending like a lot of time there, and so it's just like something went wrong, but like not everything.
I think this your experience really is what makes city livable. It's essence of the project also, even though our main target audience are municipalities, but also these things are so interesting and also valuable. Maybe there's some other question.
But yeah, it's also I will go back to this like you asked like how the cities kind of think about me, so to say. But like yeah, nowadays also like a lot of cities ask me to do like projects, so it has also changed kind of in that way that before it was like more like could I do that kind of, and now it's also other way around. But like and I mean this for example now we have run like a event space in a former bank. I didn't tell about that. But like it was so that the city contacted me that and said that we have this empty space. Could you turn it into something cool, kind of. So it works also other way around. But I think like what is still lacking kind of the support for the things that people or me are doing like themselves. So I think this is also often the problem that the cities have. They kind of decide this is our strategy. We will put our money to this project, and instead of like looking like what is happening there and how could we support actually what is already coming from the people. And this is kind of what I think is still problematic. Although we talk about like taking people like having this participating budget and like making this participatory project, but still it's kind of only few people who are actually deciding to where we are like putting this money and what we are going to do, and then the cities are looking for people to do that. So I think this is also something that we should change a bit. So kind of, because I know that there are like a lot of people who would do like really cool things if they would have a bit more resources for that.
And actually, talking about resources, I was thinking also about economic stakeholders that we have had also experienced in the Baltics quite a lot, that some activists create new quarters, creative spaces, and then those developers take over, and they have very nice, like warm place with such vibe and attitude and vibrance. So they make good projects. And I was thinking also about this. How do you see how to experiment in this field of private project development that you could both mutually benefit from each other?
Yeah, well, I mean, like this, for example, this Kera horse, I mean, it also started so that for many years I was trying to kind of get people convinced that we should do this. But like why it was possible, like of course there behind everything is money in the end. Like kind of because the owner of the buildings, like yeah, now the halls will be demolished and there will be like a new residential district. So kind of actually what we did there, like before we started to work there, like no one knew this area. So actually when I talked about this area, everyone said like, I have never heard of it. Or they said, yeah, I have been there working in the summertime, because of course a lot of students went there for their summer jobs. So either people knew it or they didn't know it or they have been working there. So kind of, and now everyone basically knows it, and the value of the land of course has risen because of this. So this is of course like why it was possible in the end. But like at the same time, this kind of temporary use gave like a lot of space for experimenting, actually a lot of people asked me, and a lot of people have been really angry now, like why are we demolishing these halls, like finally we have, because it's actually in Espoo, not in Helsinki, the neighboring city. So finally, we have something really unique in Espoo, and now we are demolishing it, and we should start a movement to save it. And yeah, so many people have asked, like, could we start this movement? And I said, like, I can't. I knew that it's a temporary project, and like I got the money and the freedom because it was a temporary project. So I can't start now a movement like to save these buildings. But like for me, it was actually a lot of people asked me like, "Are you sad?" Like not that, because I knew it from the beginning that this will be just like for some years. So, but like we benefited, they benefited, and so on. But like I think, yeah, often it's like that you kind of just use the creative people to make something cool and then kick them out. And I think this is of course not cool. And and this also usually kills the spirit in the places.
Yeah, but I think it's also what you said about if you know it from the very beginning that it will be temporary and you know these rules of the game, then I think this mutual benefit is also getting nice consequences and eventual future collaboration.
Yeah, and this is often the problem. Like a lot of people are, I know, kind of afraid to give spaces for temporary use, like and the owners, I mean, or the city, because then they are afraid, like, what will happen? Then we will have a fight or something. Like then, so it's better to just to keep it empty. But I think this what is really crucial that like it's already decided in the beginning. Okay, you will get these spaces for 3 years, and that like and then we will like and then will this and this will happen. So when everyone knows this from the beginning, then it's like kind of you don't feel like that you are betrayed or something, but like it's a mutual agreement. And this so instead of like being afraid of like using like spaces for temporary use, it's better just to make everything clear for everyone. So and this is also like why I now like a lot of people are using this Kera halls as an example, because it's kind of the project worked exactly how it was supposed to work, and also like the spaces were rented like much quicker and like like so kind of the owner was really happy with so they actually made profit already with the renting of the hall. So actually it was kind of a really profitable project for them too.
And to my last comment would be just I think also municipalities could be some kind of intermediary between activists, between economic stakeholders, and I think all three parties benefit, and I think the most important residents benefit from that. And I think that would be my final words. And if there's some final comment, or Jaakko, if you have some goodbye words before we all get to last hours before Friday nights and finish celebration. So
Well, it was nice to be here, nice to have this talk, and yeah, like I say, just I hope you got at least some inspiration and want to try something, and like kind of like I said, it's better to do than just like overthink or overthink about the risks. So I hope you have some inspiration and will do something.
great, thank you. And you have some comments in chat. Let's see. Thank you so much for these amazing examples. Very inspiring, really. We would join that comment. Okay, thank you everyone who participated. If you have any questions, please feel free to answer to this email I sent. There is my address and contacts. I can transfer something for Jaakko or let us know. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.